Serena,
Oh,
I like your shirt.
thank you. It's my Ariat shirt. I don't think you can see the name. Oh yeah, there you can.
Area. Oh, fancy. You got fancy
Yeah.
stuff on.
Well, it kind of helps that I work in a clothing store.
Oh yeah, you get a freaking discount. What am I talking about?
I mean, the saleswomen came last year with this merchandise, and I was like, I'll take one of those. I'll take one of those. I'll take one of those.
So you're like a walking billboard. You just advertise for them.
Absolutely. Yes.
Oh man, do you get free
Actually,
boots?
well, I mean, does it count that I work there all day,
That's
every
really not.
day?
Yeah, it's really not free, is it?
I did just get a custom pair of Rioso Mercedes boots that I designed with my brother last March 2020, and they just came in last week.
I don't know what that means, but it sounds fancy.
They're beautiful, custom designed boots that, like, I
Ooh.
picked out the leather and the color and the top and all the stitching and the toe and the heel, and they're handmade, which is why it took a year.
Oh my gosh, that sounds
Hmm.
super expensive. I'll never be
Yeah.
able to afford those, but that's okay.
It starts just for anybody. Anybody can come in and custom order a pair, but
Uh,
it starts at like 900, and it
so,
takes 9 to 12 months.
but anyone can have their own custom. That's pretty cool though, because
Yeah.
a good pair of boots anyway is $600. It depends. I mean, you can get some for 300, but
Hmm.
yeah, boots are expensive.
Boots are very expensive, and good boots are expensive. And I mean, like, I don't know if you wear boots all the time, but like, I put these boots on my feet and wore them for 12 hours, and there's no break-in process. Because they're perfect. Obviously they fit your foot perfect, and it's all genuine leather. But this pair I got was goat skin. So they're really soft.
Oh,
Yeah, they're nice. My brother works for that company, and he designs boots for their company. But then
uh,
every year he hosts a trunk show at my parents' store where you can come in and design your own pair of boots.
well,
And so,
let's not let my wife hear about this. I hope she's not listening to this episode because her ass will be bugging me for a custom pair of boots like Serena's.
David's got like 20 pair. I've only got three. Um, but I ended up getting two this year because one of his coworkers was helping him design
Uh,
some boots. And I'm like, I don't have this. David never shows me that. And he was like, let's design you a pair right now. I'm like, heck yes.
oh my gosh, you're spoiled. I hope Serena. I just hope Regina doesn't listen to this, or she'll be calling. You'll know if she listens.
I was
You'll
going
be
to
getting a
say,
phone call.
so should I not send her a picture of my closet?
No,
Okay.
no. Well, send her a picture. No, don't send her anything. We're good.
Okay.
Yeah, oh my God, we have to come visit. So,
Hey, but I'm going to come visit you.
I know. When are you coming?
We have our condo booked the 8th through the 14th of
Uh,
August.
oh yeah, I gotta. If I don't write that down, you'll be here, and I'll be like, oh, I'm in the Bahamas.
Yeah,
Uh,
right.
okay,
I mean, it's all right. I know we're kind of far apart, but
that's okay. I gotta put it
two
on my
hours.
calendar.
Okay.
Two hours.
So,
I'll come over.
I mean, what's with the windblown hair you got going on? Did you get a blowout today?
Oh man. Oh, so yeah, it feels that way. No, so it's warm here. I'm in shorts, and we have OBI this weekend. So when all the trucks come down to Orange Beach, and it's crazy crowded, and we have the Cody Johnson concert this weekend.
Mm,
So
yeah.
I took the doors and the top off the Bronco, and I just been goofing off all day. The wind friggin'
I mean, how do you afford that with gas?
uh, I don't know. It's gas is not everyone's bitching about gas, but it's like $4 a gallon. I don't know.
I know, because we're used to Hawaii prices, right?
I know. Well, see, I think I'm desensitized to gas prices because it was $4 a gallon,
Yeah, a
a
long
while
time
ago,
ago.
but it was there. But the truth is, I don't have to drive to work. I work from home.
Sure.
So for me, it's not hard. I can't imagine right now if I actually had to drive 50 miles to work every day, it'd be different. But yeah,
Yeah.
you know, and I got to tell you, the Bronco's not great on gas.
Yeah, I'm sure.
It's about 18 miles to the gallon. Hey, it's better than my F-250, which was 11 miles to the gallon.
Yeah. I mean, I'm thankful with my Lincoln. I don't have to drive too far. I
Yeah,
mean, it's only like a 8-minute drive to work.
I was going to say you're like 3 or 4 miles, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think it's like 3 miles. It's 8 minutes
Oh
almost,
yeah,
like to the
we're
dot.
good. And I do have I bought a new bicycle, so if things get really
Oh.
tough, I'm ready.
Brandon used his bicycle in Hawaii because he hated sitting in the traffic.
It was quicker. I love riding a bicycle. I just had an old shitty bicycle, and I finally bit the bullet and just went and bought one. But
Sure.
oh, I was going to talk about the boat show.
Yeah.
So I realized I did something wrong in life because I went to a boat show this weekend, and there's $500,000 and $600,000 boats everywhere, like it's cool, but there's
Right.
like $3 and $4 million boats, and a lot of these boats said sold on them, which means someone went to a boat show and spent 600 grand that day on a boat. Now I was walking around, and those people did not look like they had $600,000 on them, but and I was one of those people. I damn sure didn't have 600 grand, but
I mean, maybe they need to listen to one of our podcasts about spending beyond your means or financing.
you got to, to buy a $600,000, $1 million boat.
Yeah, that's crazy. I mean,
yeah,
you know what you're doing. No, you know what you're doing.
Oh, it was.
I would hope so.
So it was two things. It was great, and I loved it. Like looking at all those boats is so cool, and it was depressing.
Yeah.
Like what?
Well, like, are these the kind of boats where like you need a captain, or is like this something like if you bought it, you could drive it?
Both. I mean, Serena, these for $600,000 boats, you don't need a captain. I mean,
I have no idea. I go to Cabela's and Bass Pro and look at the bass boats and the pontoons. Okay. I have no idea. So
here's an example. I saw a pontoon boat there. It was sweet. Because I've been looking at boats. I have one ordered, by the way. I'm not going to talk about it yet. It'll be here in May, but it's not one of those. It's like 50 grand boat. But, I was like, I love pontoons. And this was the coolest one I've ever seen. $215,000.
Wow.
Whereas the ones at Bass Pro Shop are $23,000.
Yeah. Yeah. And I mean, how many people did it seat?
I don't know. It was comfortable. I sat on it. Right.
Yeah.
But it had twin 300s. Now, what do you need if you have a pontoon boat and you're going to go out just floating around and drinking? Why do you need twin 300s? I don't know. Oh, they had one with a slide. It was $135,000. Now that would be cool.
And I guess, do you take pontoons on an ocean?
Well, we're in southern Alabama. People take a lot less than pontoons out on the ocean. They don't care.
Okay. So obviously being in the Midwest, we just have lakes around here. So I see pontoons all the time. However, I would assume they need big engines like that if they're going on the ocean.
Not twin 300s, but Serena, if you want to be the talk of Kansas and the Ozarks over there in Missouri, you need to get you one of those $215,000 boats.
Okay. You writing the check?
If you want a check, I'll write the check.
I think Brandon's ears are perking up over there.
Brandon's buying a boat.
He wants one so bad.
Oh God.
But he wants to fish. He wants to fish out of it. Me
too. But that's a whole nother show.
Yeah.
Because once, fishing boat center consoles, they had some beautiful boats there. And like I said, I'm in a wrong line of work, I guess, because I wish I could drop $1 million on a boat. Maybe one day.
Yeah. Maybe I'll go buy a lottery ticket.
That's my retirement plan as well. Look at us. Look at us, Serena, thinking about the future. Serena, we got an Army guy on here.
We do. We have Otis McGregor, executive coach and author, with us today.
And he was in the Army and he can still write a book. Do you believe that?
I do. I believe it. I believe it.
Otis, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing great. And you know what? I wrote a book and I ain't a Navy SEAL either.
Oh, no. There are a lot of those, aren't they?
They teach them that as part of their out process.
They're like, here's how you're going to make money. Now, wait a minute. You were a Green Beret, though, right? That's like a Navy SEAL-ish, right? No swimming.
Well, no, we swim too.
Oh, man. Well, man. You just wear green.
Green Berets are unconventional warfare, as in not going in. Although we do blow things up, have those missions and do that, but really Green Berets were formed to create guerrilla forces behind enemy lines and overthrow the government. That's why our motto is De Oppresso Liber, to free the oppressed.
Oh, I like that. I'll never remember all those words though.
No, it's all right.
I'm just a Navy guy. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
hey.
Well, they're on our regimental crest. So if you get your spectacles out, you can read it.
Oh man. Hey, you're right. When you get above 50, your check engine light comes on, including your eyes. Right. I
Yep.
got my contacts in.
I was gonna say, I don't even think you got to be 50. I got my contacts in.
But we're here to talk about a couple of things. I know you do a podcast with your son, which is awesome. We'll get to that. You have Tribe and Purpose. You wrote a book, and I told you before. I said, "Man, I want to write a book." And before we started, you said, "Well, all you have to do is start writing." So let's start there and tell us what motivated you to write the book and how that formed Tribe and Purpose, and just kind of give us the story.
Yeah, unfortunately, the reason to write the book was I wanted to. I had heard somebody had told me that if you write a book, you become an expert. So it was part of my grandiose plan to portray an expert in this. I've had a couple people ask me, what's the one business mistake you've made? I opened a business, I wrote a book, and then I put a sign out in my yard, figuratively, and waited for people to come.
Oh, didn't happen, did it?
No, it don't work that way. It don't work that way. Hello.
You mean,
this
marketing.
ain't the field of dreams right here. I can tell you that.
Man. Well, I have started a business as well, and you're right. No matter how good your product is, right? That no matter how good, if people don't know about it, and I mean, you got to beat the doors down to get people in.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So, are you a #1 bestseller in New York Times yet, or what?
Well, in the Otis Times, yes.
Otis Times,
#1 bestseller.
That's all that counts, my friend. That's all that counts.
I stole. Hey, here's my big claim to fame of my book. I sold out at the book signing.
Well, there you go.
What's the title of your book?
Enable Your Team's Success.
Enable Your Team's Success.
Yeah, we'll put it.
Look over my shoulder on the video. You can see it.
Oh yes, I do see that.
Yeah, she's got her contacts in.
I know.
Well, what about Tribe and Purpose? Because really, I mean, you have the business, but executive coaching is what you are really good at, and that's right. That's your thing. So tell us about that.
Yeah, well, what we do is we help businesses transform their organization from being a bunch of stovepipes to operating with flow. That's the simple condensed version. But what that means is we start at the top. The leader, whether it's a department or the entire business, the leader has to understand who they are. They got to get that understanding. What's their purpose? Why are they there? Why are they part of the business? All those pieces. And then how does that align with what the business does? Does it align? And then they gotta come up with what they want to do. What's the plan? What's the vision? And then we get the team involved and do the same thing with the team. Who are they? Why are they there? What are they doing? What's their piece of the pie? Because if you don't feel like you're there for a reason other than to collect a paycheck, then you're going through the motions. And what a successful business has is a team of people who are focused on the same purpose, have the same core values, or their core values are aligned, and they're moving in the same direction to achieve the same thing, and they feel like they are contributing. That's a huge one for
Right.
Team members. They got to feel like what I'm doing here, what I'm doing today helps the entire organization achieve that success. And they're going to know that, and they got to buy into it. And that's the leader's job, is to sell that to the team, get the team to buy into it. Because if they don't, then they're just going through the motions. One of my favorite stories is about the janitor that works at a hospital. And that janitor knows that by keeping the floors clean and disinfected, that he is supporting the overall mission of the hospital, which is to help people get better in life, feel better and recover. He knows that by just him mopping the floors, that's his contribution to that. That's huge. It's not just going through the motions of, swabbing the deck. He's actually doing something that makes a difference.
It makes a huge difference, especially in a hospital setting, cleanliness. And what you just talked about sounds exactly like the military mission and the team, right? You have to feel part of that team. And that's how the best military organizations succeed, is they have buy-in, right? The leaders set policy. They tell us what we're doing. You get buy-in from the team, and next you feel part of that team, and your mission is successful.
Exactly. And it's actually, if you break down Maslow's hierarchy of needs, it's the top of the pyramid in Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Hierarchy of needs.
Hey, close enough. That's a slow down. Yeah.
My Texas drawl doesn't allow me to talk fast. I can tell you that. But when it gets up there to that top, that last thing, we've got to feel like we're part of something, that we provide value.
That's
as opposed to just collect a paycheck.
Yeah. Well,
sounds like a family business.
Oh yeah. Serena moved back home after being in the military, or her husband was in the military, which means she was in the military for 20 years and works at her family business. And she's definitely part of the team.
Yeah.
Whether you like it or not, right?
The working part.
Yes. But what we're doing is, making sure the future is as bright as it can be.
Yes. Poor Serena, 6-7 days a week, right?
6. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, business is hard. And that's what you talked about in the beginning. Start open the doors and people come in.
No.
Yeah. And what about, you said Tribe and Purpose executive coaching? Is that something you go on the road and do virtually? And before I forget, have you noticed the difference between military and veteran owned companies and other companies?
Yes, all the above. So majority of our clients we do virtually, just because it's less expensive for all of us. Because even if I'm not talking about the writing the check, I'm talking about time.
Sure.
If I go to somebody's office that's 30 minutes away, that means that 1 hour meeting is now 2 hours minimum. And you start to add that up throughout the day. So that's number one, is even people that are, my clients that are local, we still do it virtual. Now I do go on the road and go give presentations. I've got one client that they include me in their annual team state of the company sort of meeting. So I go there and meet with everybody in purpose. But that's, those are kind of small niche things. Those aren't recurring. Those are like once a year sort of things that we do. I do talks, on stage or seminars and, in smaller groups. So, those I much prefer. I much prefer those to be in person. Honestly, I did a lunch and learn last week that was virtual. And I'm sitting here giving the talk and watching people on the camera, hearing plates clink and watching them eat their hamburgers and stuff like that. And it's like, yeah, that's not a lot of fun for me.
Well, on the other end of that too, when you have a keynote speaker that's, virtual, just not the same. You may check your email or your phone, but when someone's in front of me, I feel like I owe them my undivided attention.
Well, absolutely.
Speaking,
Sure.
Well, and what, as a speaker, you can see the body language in the audience, and I've done a lot of the virtual talks and lunch and learns, various lunch and learns and stuff like that. And whether they're in a group or they're individual, you don't get that same sort of read. You can see it a little bit because I've done enough of them now where I can but it's nothing like if I'm in a classroom with 30, 40 people or on a stage with 100, 200 people, and I can look out and I can see them and I can see that reaction. And, because don't forget, we're predators. So our eyes detect movement, and I see movement out in the audience. It's like, okay, that guy gets it. Oh, that one over there didn't get that. So, you can see that, and you don't get that on Zoom.
Sure.
I get it with Serena sometimes. I look over and know she just knows she's not paying attention.
She has that look, huh?
You know how many times I just sit through stuff and listen to you guys?
Who, us?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, she was my ombudsman, so she's heard me speak a lot.
Oh yeah.
When I had to speak to the crowd for the boat, I would know who was really listening to me and then who was going to call me the next day and ask all the questions that I'd answered.
That you'd answered the night before. True. Yeah.
But that's like being a teacher, and that's how it goes, right?
That's right.
Well, I want to go back to the Green Beret thing for a minute because it's kind of glazed over it. That's just not one of those normal careers. I mean, that's pretty intense, 25 years, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I started off driving tanks. I enlisted in the Guard while I was a cadet, and I was a tank driver, then a LRSU, long range reconnaissance surveillance unit, Cav Scout guy. And then the Army commissioned me as an engineer. I wasn't very happy about that. And then I volunteered for Special Forces and spent the next, whatever the math, 16, 17 years as a Green Beret, and getting to do some really cool stuff and some really crappy stuff too. So
you know your way around Fort Bragg.
No, I don't, because I got into Fort Bragg. I went there, went through the qualification course, the Q course, and language school, and then came out here to Fort Carson to be with 10th Special Forces Group, and never looked back at Fort Bragg.
Wow, I assumed that everyone Special Forces at some point was you were at Fort Bragg, but not very long. But a lot of people go there and like they never leave.
Oh yeah. Well, we used to have 2 groups there. So you think about, you could stay your entire career right there between the schoolhouse, the groups, the use of SOC, the headquarters, the Army Special Operations Commands, and things like that. You could literally, and I know guys, a couple of the guys that I'm coaching right now that are transitioning out are those guys that have spent their career, the last 15 years at Fort Bragg, because, even guys, I've even met guys that were 82nd, raised their hand to go Green Beret, spent their, did the training and stuff, then went to 7th Special Forces Group, which used to be at Fort Bragg, and then spent the next 15, 20 years, just bouncing around right there, living in the same house.
Well, there's Marines that never leave Camp Lejeune. I've met them.
That's right.
I don't know. I don't love that we had to move all the time. I don't know how people have ever gotten so lucky to stay in one place for so long.
Yeah,
me either. I looking back though, I enjoyed it. My kids enjoyed it. It made them stronger, better kids that just, living in one place my whole life. I know I don't have roots now, or my children don't, at least. That part's weird, but I don't know, Serena. I liked moving.
Yeah. I guess because I had such strong roots here in Kansas City that it always just felt rooted, and now we're back. So it's stayed, the same, but, I don't know. Even when I meet Navy people that say that they've been in one place for like 8, 9, 10 years, I'm like, how is that even possible?
I know.
We've never even offered the same duty station twice in a row. Like it's never even been a choice.
After you're at a station for a while in the Navy and they hear that you buy a house, they're like, call the detailer, get them out of there.
Yeah.
I met an Air Force colonel here years ago. She was an Air Force cadet. So she spent 4 years there, went up the road to Denver, Buckley Air Force Base, spent 4 or 5 years there, came down here to Peterson 4 or 5 years, Cheyenne Mountain, basically stayed in this little box right here she was at 20 plus years and had never left this area.
Wow.
Oh yeah. See, I don't know. I wouldn't like that, but we're getting off track as usual, Serena. We do this every week. We get off track.
I know. That's because we like our guests.
We do. And I like the stories, right? We know you have a business and we know you want to help veterans and you help other businesses out, but it's nice to know the background of the person you're talking to. And the listeners know that you served for 25 years, right? So the things that I'll call it selling, right? Your business, they can trust you, right? Because you're one of us. Well, I appreciate you coming on. And wait, I was going to say, Serena hadn't got to ask many questions, so I'm going to.
Well, no, I want to know about the podcast that you have with your son.
Otis, is your son?
Yeah. So because I'm a great namer, it's called the Cam and Otis Show. My son's name is Camden.
I was going to say, is your son's name Cam or Camden?
Yeah. How'd you ever guess? And we've been doing it. It'll be 3 years. End of May, beginning of June. We have a blast. We kind of started on a whim. Really.
You told me why you started it. I want the audience to hear why you started.
Yeah, I want to hear. I don't know.
There was really a couple of reasons. One was, going back to the book and putting a sign in the yard sort of thing, right? You just start a podcast, become famous, right?
Right. Oh, yeah. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Man, I was naive. So
hey,
that was,
my kids think I'm famous because they Google my name and this is what comes up.
Yeah. Hey, that's all it counts.
That's right. If your kids think you're famous, then you are.
That's right.
But it was that. And then the other thing now my son's in the business with me. He's part of Tribe and Purpose team. But before it guaranteed me a 1 hour slot with my son every week, when he was off doing his thing, and he's still down in Tucson. I'm pointing to it.
We know it's that way.
Yeah, there it is. It's over there. But it gave us that 1 hour a week where we spent together, and we loved, and we still do, hearing, much like y'all, hearing people's stories, listening and hearing what was the catalyst, what was the thing that got them into business, what some lessons they learned so they can share with the audience, and what keeps them ticking. We just love hearing those stories.
Yeah, and it's awesome that you started that to spend time with your son. I mean, that's great, right? That's what better reason to start a podcast, Serena?
I know. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. I don't want to start a podcast with my wife because I spend all day with her every day, Serena. Like, we both work from home. So
my wife's office is right below me.
Oh, mine is right like three doors down, like the band. But, it's all those years deployed though. Now that I am home, I have my office, she has hers. It's actually amazing. Now, when I was 20, probably not so much, but it's awesome. So I love it. And spending time with family, there's nothing better.
I agree. All those years away. You can't make it up, but man, you can enjoy it when you get it.
You sure can. Me and Serena have talked about that on the show, all those years away, but then you have retirement and you have quality family time when you are home.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people out there who aren't military, who have worked their whole life. And, when they're home, it's not quality because they're working 18 hours a day when they are home. So I appreciate everything the military has done for me and my family, especially these days.
Yeah. It all pays off now.
Yeah.
All the hard work and all the sacrifice. It
does. I just got an ambulance bill and it was only $44, but we'll talk about that later. $44. That's good, right? TRICARE.
Oh my gosh.
my back surgery, the bill, I want to say, was $300,000.
Yeah, but you didn't have to pay that.
Nope.
No.
Yeah, I was talking about my copay. I can't imagine how much an ambulance ride costs. I'm guessing a lot.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're getting off track again. Tell us how to get on your podcast. Well, not on it unless you want me and Serena to come. We'll come. But where they can find it, and your book if they want to buy your book, and then your website if they want to use you for coaching.
So
that's a lot. I know.
Yeah, I know. I probably won't remember all of it.
That's okay.
So the book is on Amazon. You can either Google the name or Google my name, Otis McGregor. There is, and I don't know if my publishers fixed it or not, but if there's a picture of a woman wearing a red fluffle blouse.
I knew you were an Army guy.
Yep. That's my book. Don't ask me what's going on. Thank you very much. I'll call out my publisher again. Get tired of making them phone calls. I don't know how to do it myself. So yes, just look for my name in the title. And yes, even though it has that strange picture on there, it's my book.
Okay.
So getting in touch with, well, our podcast, we host on Buzzsprout. So it's the CamdenOtisShow.buzzsprout.com or Spotify, Apple Podcast, all the normal
stuff,
podcast stuff. And then as far as Tribe and Purpose, it's tribe-purpose.com.
Okay.
If you click here's the little thing you got to do. You click the Get Started button in the upper right-hand corner. It's going to do a little pop-up. And on that pop-up, you got two choices, and I want you to do both of them. First one you're going to do is you're going to sign up for the Monday Moments newsletter. Again, I'm a brilliant namer, so it comes out Monday morning.
Oh, yeah. Good.
There you go. Man, you're quick on the naming
Yeah,
stuff.
man. I'm good at this.
Yeah. Well, so Monday morning, it's a great way to kick off your week because what I do is it's a stoic quote and I share what I learned this week. So on Monday, it's my lessons from this week for you to focus on your week and kick your week off. So that's number one. And then number two, that next button is right next to it is how you get in touch with me. It's how you schedule a time to get on my calendar.
Okay.
And have a free chat with me, and we'll see if you're a fit for our tribe. We'll see if our tribe's a fit for you, because it's a two-way street. It ain't just here, let me give you stuff. You gotta be part of it. You gotta be the right fit.
Awesome. You mean you have to work for it?
That's right. You gotta put in the work, man.
I wish everyone in America felt that way.
Oh my gosh.
That's a different show. All right. Well,
Yeah.
hey, Otis, thank you for coming on. Don't hang up. We're going to say bye to you, and then me and Serena are going to BS with you after the show. But thank you. We appreciate the time. We really do.
I loved it. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks.
All right, Serena. Now, that was another great guest. And I want to say that I think your family's in the background eating. I hear some forks and stuff. I'm hungry now.
Yeah, everybody's over there cleaning their plates. That's for sure.
Hey, the joy of doing a podcast from home. We can't afford no damn studio.
I know. And nothing's it's put back together, but it's not put back together. Else I'd have like total quiet, but
we don't need quiet. We like it. But Green Beret. See, I watched that Navy SEAL show, so I know all about the special forces stuff, right? It's just like on TV.
Yeah, sure. I learned a lot about Green Beret stuff from the book that we read, Sacrifice.
Oh, that's true.
Like, I have to say, I wasn't really versed in the subject, but now that I read the book and then we talked to him, I don't know everything, but I kind of get the feel.
I didn't put two and two together that we did just do another author, and that was a Green Beret. I don't know why till just now, but yeah, another great guest, and so another person who loves to help the military.
Sure. Yeah. I think he's obviously sounds like he's got some tools that he can share if you are a business owner and, are on the path to success. He can help you out.
I know a guy here that does some consulting, and it's funny how he can go into a business that's doing okay. And, it's kind of like when I was on the TRE team, when you're an outsider and you go in, you just see things that you don't see when you're in it every single day.
Sure.
So hiring someone to come into your business like a consultant pays huge dividends. And I don't think people realize that when they're in the struggle every day, but it's for someone who's had a business and understands business, and they can come in and look at simple things like your balance sheet and your cash flow statement and say, hey, you're in trouble.
Yeah, absolutely.
And team building, right? He talked about team building.
Sure. I'll circle back to my family's business. Obviously, I just came into it a year ago, and they had already had their ways set and the things that they did, and they thought everything was working the way that it should and whatever. But, I've been gone for 20 years, so they didn't necessarily know my skills. And I've held several jobs over the past 20 years, a lot of them that were involved on the computer and things like that. And so I came in, and as an outsider, I was careful, and I wasn't like, this is what you're doing wrong, but I was like, these are the ways we can do things better and quicker and, more efficient. And it's been hard with my dad, but it's easier with my mom and my brother. But
that's because your dad is stubborn, and I love him.
Yeah, he likes a pen. He likes a pen and paper, and that is it.
That's right.
But I can see, I saw, I thought they are doing great, and I thought everything, they're on the right track. But then an outsider coming in, I'm like, this is all great, but let's
step it up a notch.
Yeah, let's tie up all the loose ends and really get it going. And we hired a team to help us now even further. So,
are you saying that I'm not going to get your dad to start his own TikTok channel?
He is dying to come on our show.
Why don't we bring him on?
Okay, but what are we going to talk about?
Do we ever know what in the hell we're going to talk about? All right, you heard it. Serena's dad's coming on the show.